Hey guys, I just want to take a minute and talk about the two evil faces, um, jealousy and envy. Jealousy and envy. And I just want to first start out by saying that God has been so good to all of us. Whether you acknowledge Him or not, we have been blessed. So, with that being said, we have no reason to be envious or jealous of anyone. But we do know that it occurs. We do know that it occurs. But I just thought I would start out by saying that I want to start out by reading James 3 in verse 16. It says, "For where you have envy and selfish ambition, there you find disorder and every evil practice." Okay? For where you have envy and selfish ambition, there you find disorder in every evil practice. Um, Jealousy is basically where you feel that someone is, you already possess it, but you feel like somebody's going to try to come in and take it. Envy is where you covet, you want what someone else already has. So there is a difference. I can think back to a time growing up that my mom may have showed a little bit more of love or attention to another sibling or maybe another relative, and I'm thinking, you my mama, why are you giving that person that kind of attention? See, I already had my mother's love, but I didn't want to share it with anyone else. We see that among siblings, what they call it, sibling rivalries, or they're feeling like, the parent is giving favoritism to another child when the parent is just trying to love on all of their kids. But parents do know that there are certain children that need certain attention, and we get that as we get older. But that's just an example. I can think back in my 20s or 30s, when I wasn't financially where I wanted to be, and I may have seen someone driving something or living in a certain area, and I'm like, gosh, I wish that could be me. But I had to be careful with that, because guess what? You can start coveting what someone else has. That's coveting. It's not good, because you don't know what someone has been through to get what they have. You don't know what they've gone through to drive what they drive. For all you know, they paying $1,500 a month for it, but you want it. Do you really want it? You have to be so mindful and careful of what you think you want. You may want someone else's spouse. He looks so good to you, or she looks so good to you that you're coveting someone else's spouse. You don't know what that person's going through to be with that person. You better leave them alone. You ain't ready. You don't want that. You think you do. Jealousy, protecting what you have. I already said that jealousy typically involves a fear of losing something that you already possess. You already got it, but you think someone's getting too close to it. So now you become jealous. I mean, the man can't even go up the street to the store. You calling his phone 25 times. She can't even be out with her girlfriends. You're calling. You're already together. You don't need to be doing all that. You don't need to be doing all that extra stuff. That's that jealousy coming in. Envious again. Someone already has ownership of something, but you want it. Someone has been promoted on their job, and you feel like, oh, I should have been promoted. Why she got that? Did you apply? Did you have the skills? See, you don't even know all the back end stuff that goes along with it. That's why we have to trust God for everything, because that's how the enemy wants to come in. He wants to get into our thought process and start making us think crazy thoughts. What, I should have this, I should have that. Who's to say you should have that? Who are you? You can't make those decisions. That's for God to make. Another type of jealousy is that, God has a jealousy as well, because God says we should have no other gods before Him. God is a jealous God, but that's a different type of love, because what He's saying is, I took the whipping for you. I hung on the cross. I went and died for you. No other man would do that for you. No other woman would do that for you. I have unconditional love for you. We throw that word unconditional around very loosely. I have unconditional love for you. No, we don't. Know why I can say that? I can say that very confident because our emotions are tied into certain things. Ladies, think about it. We could have been married for X amount of years, but if your spouse does a certain thing, you'll be like, okay, I can't love you through that. I love you, but I can't love you through that. Now, whether that's right or wrong, that's not for me to make that call. But I'm just saying our emotions are tied into that. Fellas, you can the same thing. You can only go so far. She can only go so far. And if she goes over that curve, you're like, dear, I love you, but you're on your own. But see, God is totally different. He loves us 100, regardless of what we do. We come to him and we ask for repentance. He's going to forgive us. All charges dropped. Us, we hold the grudge because we're humans. We have our emotions tied. We have our emotions just tied up in there. That's because we're in the flesh. We're in the flesh. We're not in the spirit 24/7. But yeah. I want to talk a little bit about like the aspect of jealousy. So the focus of jealousy, fearing of losing what you have, and the emotions involved with that is you become protective. You have anxieties. You get all nervous. She only been gone 20 minutes and you done called 125 times. You're feeling threatened. Those types of feelings just coming on you, and you shouldn't feel like that. You shouldn't allow your emotions to take you there. Envy, again, desire for what someone else has. Some of the emotions tied to it is covetousness, resentment, example, wishing you had your neighbor's car. You don't know what he went through to get that car, but it's so nice, it's so pretty. Those rims sitting all shiny and sitting up there and making that car look good. Vroom, vroom, vroom. And you want it. But again, we have to be so careful when those types of things hit our heads, because now you start festering that stuff. And it can send you down a wrong spiral, a wrong path, and it can become ugly. So as soon as you feel that jumping on you, start praying about it. God, take this away from me. I don't like how I'm feeling about this. I know your time is perfect. When it's time for me to get what I'm going to get, it's going to be big. It's going to be gorgeous. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be everything. I don't have to be jealous of anyone. I don't have to be envious of anyone. And neither do you. You don't. So I hope what I said makes sense. Please go back and read over the verses that I talked about earlier. I'm going to put them in the description field. I want to go back. I believe it was I read James 3:16, but then I want you guys to go and read Galatians 5 verses 19 through 21. It's a lot in that, and I'm not a scholar, so I'm not even about to try to put all that out there. But yeah, read and get some understanding for yourself. But again, I hope what I said makes sense, and until next time, continue to grow and glow.